to go. Actually, I gotta let you guys in on a little bit of something. Might make some people mad, might make some people happy. Some people might not care, but I'm gonna do a separate video for that. For now, we're just gonna talk about these three new legends. Jimmy Jackson, Ohio State Buckeye, great. But in the NBA, he actually played for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different teams over his career. 13-year career. So almost a team a year, really. But so you might be like, well, how is this guy a legend? Well, back when he came into the league, played for the Dallas Mavericks, spent 4 seasons with them, and his third season he was really, really good. 25.7 points a game, 5.1 rebounds, 3.7 assists, only 0.5 steals and 0.2 blocks, which is troublesome. But he was putting the ball up a lot. He took 20 shots a night. Shot 47% from the field, 32% from three-point range, 80% from the line. Known as a shooting guard small forward, but a really good ball handler who could actually handle the ball up top and actually be something of a point forward. So, and if anybody knows anything about his college career, in college, he was a beast. He kind of led Ohio State as they dueled with the Fab Five. He had a college teammate, Lawrence Funderburk, who ended up playing a little bit of time with the Sacramento Kings, I believe. I don't know if he played, probably played for somebody else, but I know he played for the Sacramento Kings. But yeah, so this is Jimmy Jackson. Not a lot of crazy stuff with the signature stuff. I didn't really. He's one of the lower rated. I haven't showed you the ratings yet, but he's one of the lower rated legends. Period. Because I mean, he had the one good year, and of course, it's based off of that year. But that year itself, the points per game were high, but the shooting percentage was not all that crazy, and the defense was certainly not exemplary. So that's what that is. So let's take a look at the rating, which is an 81 overall. And as the league, as my roster begins to get better and better, an 81 it really is going to be looking like, whoa. And I got like a challenge for you guys, really. If you get this roster, right, and you go through an entire, even if you pick a team, say if you pick like, whatever, pick the Bulls or you pick the Lakers or whatever, one of the teams is going to be really obviously stacked. Say if you do that, right, if you go through an entire season with the game on Superstar or higher, Superstar Hall of Fame, and you're able to win a championship, you really gonna be doing something pretty good, because you got to think about, there's not gonna be like any dead spots for almost any team on the whole thing. So if you really want to challenge like yourself against the CPU, you can definitely do that. You might even want to do something like take the Timberwolves, or maybe not the Timberwolves, they got Garnett in them, but take like, I don't know, top of my head, I'm trying to think of one of the squads is going to have the fewest amount of legends, maybe like the Raptors. They're going to have Vince Carter, but not a lot else. Can you take the Raptors to a championship, in this league? Also, another thing you could do is if you do the fantasy draft, like one of the things I'm going to do, so then it's just completely spread out. That's really going to be a challenge, because you're going to have more of a regular team, but you're going to be playing against legends like every single game. So it's going to be pretty good. So let's look at these badges for Jimmy Jackson. Only 7. No golds. No gold badges. Hop, stepper, corner specialist, killer crossover. Then he's going to get the spin kingpin. And that's about it for Jimmy Jackson. So let's take a look at the next guy. A lot of people, it depends on what you know Xavier McDaniel for. Some people know Xavier McDaniel for being a good scorer, which he was, a pretty decent rebounder. Some people know him just as like a maniac. In case you wondering, you look on the screen, Xavier McDaniel had a penchant for choking people. If people have 2 different pictures of you choking somebody 2 different times, I would say that you may have a problem, because you result choking people on a fairly regular basis, I would say. But so obviously we already know he's going to have like the Intimidator. If they got an Intimidator badge, he's going to have it. But just in terms of basketball, Xavier McDaniel could really play. So I took his 86-87 season. He's 23 years old. He averaged 23 points a game, 8.6 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1.4 steals, 0.6 blocks. He only shot 21% from three, but he shot 51% from the field and just about 70% from the free throw line. I did a pretty good job with this one, I thought. Of course, he played for the Sonics majority or for the most years in his career, and his best years were with the Sonics. So that's what we got here. Let's take a look at the signature stuff. He has, I pretty much got all of his accessories just right. I don't know if I like what he does after he shoots his jump shot. Look how he puts his hands back. Like, I think I need to change that. He just puts his hands back like I'm about to fly away. So I think I got it. I don't know. I don't think that's what we need. Maybe that's better. I can see him shooting the jump shot, but the one I had was not gonna work because he went into this little thing like he was flying away, and I don't know. Whimsical McDaniel. So we don't want the whimsical version. So here we go. That's better. All right. Not a spectacular athlete by any means, but a decent athlete and definitely one who would put it down on you. I mean, this dude was very, very physical and really played the intimidation game, especially on defense. I mean, you see this other picture with him arguing forehead to forehead with Michael Jordan, which not that Michael Jordan was this incredibly tough guy that nobody wanted to fight. I mean, for the most part, all Michael Jordan's fights came in practice where he sucker punched a teammate like Steve Kerr or Will Perdue, most of the time in terms of, and then he had a fight with Reggie Miller. So you see, Mike's not picking the tough guys to fight with for the most part. But he got into the little argument with Xavier McDaniel, and Mike did stand up to him. Let's take a look at the attributes. An 82 for McDaniel as we flip through here. 6'7", 205 pounds. He was a physical specimen too. I mean, he was pretty muscular. You didn't want it. I'm trying to tell you, you didn't want it. Oh, I'm sorry. These are tendencies. I'm like, why does he have a 4? There we go. Here we go. I'm back now. I'm back in the business. What hurt his rating for the most part was the 3-point shooting. As a small forward, that weighs pretty heavily. And then also he's not. I don't have him as a spectacular athlete, so that's the other thing right there. So, and the other thing, I got to change his age because I was going to use the 25-year-old Xavier McDaniel, ended up changing my mind to use the 23-year-old, so I got to change his age. He got 15 badges, only one of them gold, microwave. But I'm going to show you, got the bruiser. The physical nature of this player drains energy from his matchup. He does that. And he's an enforcer. He can wreak havoc on the floor with tough and physical play. And he's a fierce competitor and mind games. He can get into the head of his opponent while guarding him. I would definitely say that is true. Unpredictable. He can be erratic in his behavior. You got to watch people who can be erratic in their behavior. For right now, you got to watch me change his age to 23. And there we go. And that's Xavier McDaniel. Now it's time to take a look at the last guy in this episode. Last but certainly not least, one of my favorite players from the past. And just because I say he's my favorite player, don't think that means I'm going to like bump up or jack up the ratings. This still is about the formula. It's still about the numbers. But the numbers don't lie. For Lafayette Fat Lever. Most people don't even call the first name Lafayette. You just call him Fat, which, it's pretty much like if you look at his old basketball cards, it's got Fat Lever on it. So, and it's lever, not lever, even though it's spelled like it's lever. But you know how we look at Rajon Rondo's rebounding numbers, and we're like, man, he's a really good rebounder for a point guard. Well, I'm trying to tell you, you don't even know what it's like to be a good rebounding guard until you look at the list of the numbers for Lafayette Fat Lever. Now, I used his 28-year-old season, 88-89. He went back and forth between point guard and shooting guard that year, but his first 5 years of his career, he played point guard. So He averaged this particular season 9.3 rebounds a game. He's 6'3", 7.9 assists, 2.7 steals, 19.8 points. He shot 35% from three-point range, made 46% of his shots, 78% of his free throws. In my personal opinion, Lafayette Fatlever is what Rajon Rondo would be if he could shoot a little bit better. Now, Fatlever wasn't a fantastic shooter, so he wasn't like he was, Mark Price or nothing. But he was a better shooter than Rondo. And he did all of the other things that Rondo did with the rebound and the steals, the assist. He did all of that, and he was just a better scorer. This is one of the most, to me, in my personal opinion, one of the most underrated players in the history of the game, really. He does not, people talk about some of the best guards of the 80s, the 90s, or whatever. Then nobody talks about this dude, and part of it's because he spent the majority of his career in Denver. But I'm trying to tell you, Lafayette Fatlever is the truth. Well, he was the truth, for sure. So, we hooked it up here. Not, like he wasn't like a dunk contest athlete or whatever, so you're not going to see a bunch of crazy dunks or whatever. And his handle was more on the basic side than it was. Like, I don't even know if I like that crossover, that shake with the crossover. I don't even think I like that because that's a, it's, you can have an effective crossover without, that's too slow. Like, I think like this one's better. Quick, but not nearly as, as jazzy. So, because he wasn't a jazzy type of a ball handler, it was just efficient. And the size up, that's why he has this size up, because it's not super jazzy, but it can be efficient. Got the Chris Paul layup, regular, hanging off of 1 foot with the slam there. Basic one-hander, that's all he needs. That's all he needs. And you see, got an 87 overall rating. 20 badges. I can hear the Kobe people. But I don't hate Kobe. I don't hate Kobe. Kobe is one of the greatest basketball players to ever live, period. But the numbers for his best season, I can't do no better than 89 for you. I can't. The badges is there, but I can't do nothing no better. I can't do better than 89. I'm 45% from the field. Yes, you averaged 35 points a game, but Jesus, you shot 448 million times. Come on, man. Fatlever, six gold badges, pick and roll maestro, charge card, interceptor, perimeter lockdown defender. My wife is calling me. That's why you're hearing Music Soul Child in there. Pick dodger, pickpocket. You got the alpha dog. So he's doing his thing. Now we are going to flip it over to the attributes here. And you see it's 87 overall. And let's see, we got the moving shot 3. 74. So the three-point shot is what kind of kept him down a little bit. And could have been even higher than that, really. I mean, just think about it. If we're talking about a season when a dude averaged, a point guard, averaged 20 points a game, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 point, he nearly averaged a triple-double. How could you not have an 87 the year you almost averaged a triple-double? I mean, what? And then you shoot 35% from three-point range. I mean, what is really going on? I mean, it's really an amazing season. And, like, he was the answer to the hint. And, like, just look at this. For a 4-year span, he averaged at least 8 rebounds and 6.5 assists. And all of those years, he scored at least 18 points a game. I mean, and he only made 2 All-Star teams during that time. The only 2 All-Star teams of his career. I don't even know how he had to be one of the best players. I mean, you had to be considering him one of the best players in the league at that time. And to me, that's one of the best 4-year stretches for anybody. That's pretty sick. But at any rate, that's this episode. It's time for that hint. This one's real simple. Won't be hard for anybody to look up. This man is the only ever graduate or the only ever player to hail from the University of Virginia to go number 1 overall in the NBA draft. It ain't hard. I appreciate y'all watching. Peace and God bless.